Our story today is about the rich young ruler and is found in Mark 10, verses 17 to 31. He wanted to follow God, but his riches stood in the way. Afterwards, Jesus talks to his disciples about what had happened and says, not once, but twice, how hard it is for the rich to enter the kingdom of God. And then he utters a proverb that expresses impossibility. It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for someone who is rich to enter the kingdom of God. Apparently, the original proverb came from the Babylonians or Persians, which refers to an elephant passing through the eye of a needle. The Jewish adaptation was a camel because that was the largest animal in their land. Now, people have tried to analyze this proverb and provide alternative explanations. For example, some people say that the eye of the needle is not the one used for sowing, but instead it refers to a small narrow gate in the city of Jerusalem, which was used after dark when the main gates of the city were closed. In order to get through, the camel had to have its baggage removed. This would be a great explanation for a rich man needing to get rid of his baggage or riches weighing him down to get to heaven. But actually, there's no evidence that such a gate existed in Jerusalem, or that any gate in Jerusalem was known by that name. So perhaps this was the explanation rich believers came up with in order not to feel guilty about holding on to their riches. Another alternative theory for the meaning of this text is that there was a translation problem, because the word for camel is also the same word for rope or cable in Aramaic. And therefore, Jesus was saying that it is impossible to thread a rope through the eye of a needle, which would also make sense in a sewing context. Well, whatever the explanation, these are all indicative of impossibility. Why does wealth seem to have this effect on people? And I guess it's because money creates a sense of security. Do you remember your first paycheck and how it made you feel? Wealth gives people a sense of agency, of control over their own lives. The more you have, the less you need anything or anyone. Why do you think that the first world countries are harder to evangelize than developing countries? Because in general, they have need of nothing. I remember one of the jobs I had as a student in university. I had to sew with a machine the zippers onto a pencil case, and those ones that open up like a book. I can't remember the exact amount, but I would get paid somewhere between 10 cents or 30 cents per pencil case, and I wasn't able to sew that many per hour, so my hourly wages were less than $2 per hour. Now, how do you survive on that? Contrast that with the net worth of one of the richest men in the world, Jeff Bezos, estimated at $194 billion. Who would feel a greater need for God? The poor student or the wealthy billionaire? Both actually equally need God in their lives, and they need him in order to be saved. But riches usually make people too self-sufficient. And my prayer is that hopefully we don't fall into that attitude. And I also pray that the Lord will keep us humble. I'll see you tomorrow.